What's up, guys? It's Phantoms Yu-Gi-Oh! Hope you're having a good one. This is Musketeer episode 5, and today we're going to be building Magical Musketeer Mysterune, and we're going to be doing this together. We're going to learn the archetype together, and I'll talk you through my thought process, and I'll try to apply the theory that I use to build my Musket builds in order to build this Mysterune deck. If you're not familiar with Mysterunes, this is a archetype that's coming out. It's not out yet. And it's based pretty much around quick play spell cards. And if you have the field spell for Mysterune, you can activate the quick play cards from your hand. So it's kind of like Musketeers in that sense. You can activate them with no restriction with Musketeers on board, so you can use them to trigger your Musketeers. Something really quick, all these Mysterune cards that have in common is that when you activate them, the quick play spells, you have to skip your battle phase. Okay, but every quick play spell here also banishes cards from the top of your opponent's deck. So pretty much the win condition for this deck is not really to reduce your opponent's life points to 0. You're gonna want to deck them out basically by recycling these quick play spells, stalling, just stopping all their plays, and eventually deck your opponent out by banishing cards off the top of their deck. So we're gonna take a look at this archetype, how it works with Musketeers, and yeah, kind of just get into it from there. All right, so the first thing I want to do is kind of introduce this Mysterune archetype for you guys if you're not familiar. So what I've done here pretty much is put all the Mysterune stuff in one kind of deck here on EDO Pro, and then I put below the card pretty much the closest equivalent that I could quickly think of. So here's Point of the Mysterune. This is the searcher for all of your Mysterune spells. So this is kind of like Engage. So that's what's going on here. So we have Point of the Mysterune. Underneath it is Engage. So this is the searcher. This one, Mysterune the Brilliant Flame. This is a quick effect. Destroy a special summon monster. So it's almost like quick play Smashing Ground. Mysterune of Destruction. This is a MST. Mysterune of Dispel. This is a this is kind of like Master of Darklaw, honestly. So when your opponent adds a card from the deck to their hand, so if they search something, you discard a random card from their hand. So it's almost like Darklaw, but I put Confiscation here. Mysterune of the Freezing Curse. This is pretty much Forbidden Chalice. Mysterune of Slumber. This one it's kind of like Divine Dragon Knight Felgran, the rank 8 XCs, but what it does is you target a monster, that monster cannot attack, and also cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. So it's almost like Safe Zone, kind of just protects something, but it can't attack. Mysterune of the Golden Droplets, your opponent draws one, but then you get to banish 4 off the top of their deck. So I put, it's like Gift of Greed, your opponent draws 2 cards, basically what it is. This one, Mysterune of the Raging Storm. This one says banish cards off the top of your opponent's deck for each card they control. So it's almost like Just Desserts does for Burn, which does burn for each monster they control. I think there's even a card, it's like Secret Barrel does, let's see. Okay, so Mysterune of the Raging Storm is kind of like Secret Barrel. It banishes cards for every card they control, instead of this one, which does burn damage for each card they control. This one is a continuous spell, so all of these were quick plays back here. This is a continuous spell that says each time a quick play spell is activated, banish the top card off your opponent's deck. So this is kind of like Candina, where each time something's activated, they take 200 burn, but instead we're going to be banishing cards. Okay, and then this is the field spell. This is probably the most important spell of the archetype. So what the field spell says is you can activate Mysterune quick plays from your hand. So if you have this set up, you can just keep all the quick plays in your hand and be good to go. And then when quick play spell is activated, or after it resolves, you can target up to 3 Mysterune spells in your grave and shuffle them, or put them at the bottom of your deck and draw that number of cards. So you pretty much want to use this that play after you've gone through all of your Mysterune spells in hand. Then you just shuffle them all back and draw 3. So this deck is insane advantage if you can keep the spell card up, the field spell up. So We're going to be thinking about that when we're deck building. And I kind of associate this with Grand Spellbook Tower. And then another thing about all these quick play spells is they all have a secondary effect where instead of the thing that I have associated underneath here, they can also special summon one of the 3 fusion monsters of the archetype straight from the extra deck. So these fusion monsters all do different things. I have them here below. This one lets you recycle a spell card from your graveyard, but not a quick play. So it's either the field spell or the continuous here. This one lets you discard 1 card to search a continuous spell. So this is the only continuous right now. And this one lets you discard a card to search the field spell. So yeah, that's pretty much what all these do. Yeah, and we'll see how they come up in games. So yeah, this is the Mysterune archetype. Oh, and then very important to mention, all of them, when they're activated, they have the cost of you have to skip your next battle phase. So pretty much we're not going to be building a board and swinging for game because we're not going to be able to swing for game. So we pretty much have to depend on advantage, just gathering so much advantage that we deck our opponent out. And that's pretty much the direction I think we're going to have to go with this deck. Because I think if you want to build a board and swing for game, there's no reason to play these cards. Like, Musketeers generate so much advantage on their own and can build a board that if we just add these cards in, it just inhibits you from doing that. So with the baseline like model that we have to play Musketeers and Mysterunes, we're going to build the deck around decking our opponent out because there's just better ways to play either archetype if we don't want to do that. So starting with that assumption, first let's clear all these, and we're going to go here, and we're going to start fresh. So first we're going to start with our Musketeer engine. Okay. I've already built this deck ahead of time, but I want to just talk you through how I came to my decisions. Okay. So we're going to play 3 cast bar. The point of our deck here is, again, just to build advantage and just hold a board as long as we can, and eventually our opponent's going to run out of cards. So we're going to just play for full advantage. We're going to play 3 cast bar. We're going to play 3 Kid Brave. We just want to draw into these Mysterune cards. We just want as much card advantage as possible. We're going to be playing 2 Dock because these are going to be grind games. We're going to make them grind games, and we're going to need to recycle resources, and it's going to be so much of a grind game. We're going to play 1 Wild as well. We are not going to play Calamity. Putting Musketeers on board is just not going to be everything for us. And we're only going to be playing 2 Starfire, and I'll show you why. I mean, it's similar to why we're not playing Calamity, but I think only 2 Starfire is what we're going to want right now. But we're still going to play 3 Max, because we're not really going to need our extra deck. We're not going to be climbing for anything, but we'll want the Max just to search more Musketeer background. And then while we're here, I'll just show you the Musketeer spell trap lineup I'm playing. And it's going to be this. 1 Cross Dom, 2 Desperado, 1 Dancing Needle, 1 Last Stand. And reason being, we're playing 3 Recyclers. We're playing 2 Dock and 1 Wild, so I'm not really worried about running out of these cards and going into Max multiple times to search them, because we're going to be able to Wild them back. So yeah, this is all we need, and we want to put as much consistency in our deck as possible. We don't want to lose because we get like Raigeki'd and we just don't have a Musket, and we have a whole bunch of Musket spell traps. Just the Mysterune stuff is not going to be able to hold for us. So we're just going to play a minimum Musketeer back row engine. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is do the Mysterune. Okay. We don't really need our extra decks. So we're just going to play 2 of each of the fusions. I think that's fine. 3 of the Searcher for sure. The Searcher is the best card. We're gonna play 2 Brilliant Flame. We just want to slow our opponent down, so this is the best one. just to stop them from building such a huge board that we can't overcome it and just hold. So we're going to play 2 Brilliant Flame. We're going to play 1 Destruction for the back row. I'm thinking of bumping this to 2, honestly, because this is the best one. This is a banish 4 cards off the top, so this has the biggest banishing ability. So yeah, we're gonna play 1 for now, but I think that's good. Let's see. We're gonna play 1 Dispel. Every deck searches, so this is gonna be fine. This is the one where if they search, we get to discard 1 random card. We're gonna play 1 Freezing Curse as well. This is the Forbidden Chalice one. We're going to play 0 of the Slumber, which is the like protect the monster one. It's not really important. This one says your opponent draws 1 and banish 4 off the top. Not gonna play that. We're gonna play 1 Raging Storm, which is banish cards up to the number of cards they control. And this one is pretty good because in these long grind games, they're gonna eventually fill their board but not be able to do anything, and this will just get a huge banish. So we just need to resolve this once for like 6, and that's all we want. And it's always live. We can always activate this to trigger the field spell. We're just gonna play 1 of the continuous just to kind of accelerate the process. Then we're going to play 2 Spring, the field spell. The field spell is good, but there's so many ways to get to it, and it kind of breaks if you drop more than 1. So I think just the 2 is fine. Okay. Next, we're going to play some consistency cards. And for this, I've decided to play 3 Extrav and 2 Duality. We just want to gather as much crap in our hand as we can and just go plus off Mysterune recycling and Musketeer recycling. And that's why I'm only playing 2 Starfire, is because we're going to be playing Duality, and eventually we're not going to need any more Musketeer summons. They're just not going to get us anything extra. You can play 3 Starfire and cut something, but I think just the 2 is fine. Yeah, 3 Extrav. I think it's better than Prosperity in this deck. There's nothing you need to see specifically. You just need to see more cards. You just need to activate more stuff. So we really want to get to that field spell. We want to get to both engines, but not only do we need to get to both engines, we also have to be able to have stuff to activate to kind of fuel them. So we need a Musket monster. We need Musket spell traps. We need the Mysterune field. We need Mysterune quick play spells. So we just need it all. So we just need bulk cards in our hand, and then the Duality will get us that specific kind of like better digging power. But yeah, I think that's fine. Then now we're gonna actually play some stall, because again, this is a stall deck. We're gonna play 1 Day of Peace. Each player draws 1 and no damage is taken. So this lets you kind of just have a turn to chill, to gather advantage, and not worry about getting OTK'd. And you can break boards fairly well with these cards. These are all going second cards, you know, Desperado and Brilliant Flame and stuff like that. And then we're gonna actually be playing, like, no joke, 3 Threatening Roar and 2 Waboku. These are just great stall cards. Threatening Roar is better than Waboku for a few reasons. Threatening Roar says your opponent cannot declare an attack. Waboku says you don't take damage or your monsters are not destroyed. Threatening Roar is better because they can't go into Zeus. So that's a little nuance, and something good to think about. Okay, and then the 40th card. I'll be honest, I forgot what I wanted to do, so I'm just going to skip ahead to here where I sort the deck. Let's see. What was the last card? Oh, I guess I played 2 of the Effect Negator. So we're just playing a second Freezing Curse. So where were we? Yeah, here. We'll go back to the one we were working out of. We're going to play an extra Freezing Curse right here. Okay, so that's 40, and we're going to stop there. And then the extra deck you pretty much fill with whatever you want, kind of like generic stuff. Or if you get the chance to go for a game randomly, just like and you don't have to skip your battle phase. If you just draw only Musketeer engine, then I would play stuff like that. So we're gonna go Boral Sword, access code, and then just generic stuff. Alright, I just realized my head was in the way, so here it is again. You can see the last few cards. It's Threatening Roar and Wabaku here. Yeah, in case you couldn't see. So here's the full deck list we'll be playing. And yeah, now let's do some replays. Alright, I got some replays for you guys. I'm going through 3. So let's start with this one. This one is Paleo. We're playing against Paleo Frog. They're not going to be the best, most meta opponents, but we'll just kind of get to see what the deck can do. Yeah, so pretty much what we want to do is just trade advantage as best we can. So we just want to use our cards to clear the board and just start banishing as early as possible. We luckily drew the MST one against the 3 back row deck. They set Torrential Tribute off Trap Trick. We were able to draw into Caspar off the field spell because previously we had no normal summon. So we go ahead and normal summon Caspar. We know they're going to TT, but at least that makes the Dancing Need alive. We can get rid of the Paleo stuff and one of the Ronin Totems. We just set Threatening Roar and pass. They're playing Paleo, not really scared of anything, so just that one is fine. We top deck the X-Draft. We go ahead and draw. We can just go for max here. Search the Last Stand. I think that's what happened. So then they set 1 and set 2 there. I assume one of these is Ronin. But I just swing, just start trying to bait back row and just revealing what their stuff is. They're playing Backjack, and he uses that to use the Spell Trap pop. And I do negate that with Last Stand, because I want to keep Threatening Roar on board in case they go into Toad, which they end up doing. But so here we go ahead and activate the Effect Negate on Summon. We do not want to activate it before they use, after they use Toad Effect to search the Detach Effect. We want to use it on Summon because we know they're going to negate it. So if they were to negate it as Chainlink 3, then they would still get the search. But this way, now that they're negating it, they don't get the search. So yeah, they negate and take our our negate here and set it to their side. And this comes up to be pretty important later. So something to note is that these Mysterune cards, they make you skip your battle phase. So make sure in EDO Pro you click on the battle phase button as soon as possible to skip it. Because if you don't click battle phase, if you don't attempt to enter battle phase, that will linger until you attempt to enter battle, and then it will skip. And this still applies in IRL Yu-Gi-Oh as well. There are some card effects that make you skip your battle phase, like Mulan Glacia, the Elemental Lord. If it leaves the field, you skip your battle phase. Unless you call attempt to enter battle phase, that effect will linger until you do attempt to enter battle phase. Okay, so you don't just skip. It doesn't say you're not allowed to enter battle phase your next turn. It says you must skip your next battle phase that you attempt to enter. So it's just a little nuance, but you have to do that. Anyway, so here, this is where it came up. They just went into Mistar Boy. They used my Mysterune spell to negate effects like 2 turns ago. They go into Mistar Boy to try to start swinging for damage. But they, like 2 turns ago, they never clicked battle phase. So now that they have attempted to click battle phase, it made them skip. So yeah, anyway, we go ahead and just Desperado pop Mistar Boy, whatever. Like, I know they're gonna get a card back. I was hoping they would search just to deck thin a little bit. But anyways, yeah. We start swinging. We've X-Draved our entire extra deck away in the meantime. We have 5 cards in hand, 5 on field. Or 6 on field, including the field spell. They draw into a whole bunch of frogs, so they're able to go into their 3rd. Totally awesome now. And they go battle, and I go Wabaku here. And this is where Wabaku comes up, where they're still allowed to attack with the XCs, and they go ahead and Zeus. But I have the Effect Negate Mysterune spell, the Forbidden Chalice. So yeah, in the end phase, we go ahead and pop with Brilliant Flame, and then we get to draw 2. And they just surrender here, which is totally fine because we have a whole bunch of just banish Mysterune cards. We're about to draw 2, and we have 5 cards on field. So yeah, that was a win. We've effectively decked them out. Yeah. Okay, now we have our next replay, which is against Ritual Beast here. This build is slightly different. This is when I was still on trying to run other things. I thought searching the field spell was top priority, so I was playing terraforming and set rotation and stuff, which you'll see, but the idea is still the same. We go cast bar 1 Day of Peace. We're just trying to search, just get as much advantage as we can. We're going to draw another one, and we pass turn. They're not allowed to do battle damage next turn, so yeah, they go ahead and set 5 back row. I have no idea what they're playing at this point, but I just want to clear it ASAP because I don't know what this is, so I'm just going to activate as much stuff as I can in their end phase while they can't respond to anything. And that lets me search Last Stand as well. I'm definitely searching Last Stand into 4 back row. So I go ahead, normal summon Kid Brave, activate Duality. I'm just trying to bait stuff here. Yeah, we go ahead and draw 2. We're gonna go search probably our MST Mysterune card. We're just activating a whole bunch of stuff. I was playing Card Destruction. This was another card I thought about running just to kind of turbo through, but it just gives some decks so much advantage that it was just a bad idea in general. We wouldn't be able to overcome other decks having 5 cards in grave to start their turn. So I go into max. I'm like, what the hell are they running? Because they have 5 back row and they just let me go +3, but I didn't want to go any further just in case. Probably could have OTK'd there with like a Boral Sword or something, but whatever. Or they had Skill Drain, I guess. I don't know why they didn't flip Skill Drain. I guess because they're losing. I Last Stand the macro because I want my Mysterune spells to go to the grave. Yep, and just stuff is happening. Just triggering muskets. Look at my insane hand off this field spell. They're going like Canahawk stuff. They set 1, and yeah. I have like 8 cards in hand, so I'm like, okay, I'll just go into Phoenix, start discarding random crap. I was playing set rotation, just try to get this field spell, but yeah, we've cut that by now. This just banished 7 off their deck, off the top of their deck, so that's insane. We're trying to pop monsters. Field spell draws 2. Yep. Oh, and then I click battle phase, not realizing it'll take me straight to end phase, so I wasn't able to set some cards to save my hand space, but anyway. Yeah, they Kaiju Slumber, whatever, because I have Wabaku here. Like, I'm not scared of a push right now. Yeah, and they pretty much just go ham, just trying to put game on board here. I do this discard 1 random card, banish 2, and then I try to draw into something important. I Wabaku, they can't do anything. And they end up just passing. So they have a decent board, but I have just so much advantage. I banish like all but 1 card of my extra. I don't really care. Because I see they have 10 cards in deck, and that should be fairly simple with just a couple of Mysterune spells. Yeah, and I go ahead and set 4. I have a Threatening Roar, a Wabaku, and 2 Mysterune cards. Yeah. Okay, they Pedalfin bounce my field spell. I quick activate this. Search. I didn't read Pedalfin, so I searched another field spell. I thought it popped, so I just wanted to make sure I had another one. Anyway, so they have 7 left. They're going for a Pelio just to keep boosting their monsters, and he's trying to go for game here. I have this MST equivalent here, which is going to be 4 of the 7. He just searched another one, so he's pretty much toast. I go Wabaku. He can't do anything about it, so he passes. I activate field spell again. He tries to negate, and I activate this, and he, yeah. Whatever. So, and I had the other field spell, and he negates that as well. and then I just pop his back row and banish 4 off the top, so he's down to 1 card left. I have Threatening Roar and a set cast bar, so there's no way he can AK through that. I go Threatening Roar, he banishes, he negates. Yeah, so he hits me for 37, big deal, and I can just pass turn for the win. I activate Card Destruction just to experiment, see if I could activate it if he had no cards in hand. I was playing Summon Breaker as my set rotation target, just for like extreme stall if I couldn't get into the Mysterune field, but whatever. Yeah, so that was another deck out win. Okay, and then this is a game against DDD, and I win the die roll. I go first, and this is what I draw: 3 Musket Monsters, Dancing Needle, and a Forbidden Chalice. And that's just not going to cut it, and this is kind of why the deck is a little sus, because if you just don't draw enough of both engines, you're going to have a hard time. So I just try to negate his thing, he negates my spell card, and I just scoop. And I just wanted to show this replay because the deck's a little fragile. If you don't open both engines, you're kind of in trouble. So yeah, this was my take on it. Let's just jump back to the deck list. Yeah, this is the deck. Let me know what you guys think about it. I did take a look at other YouTubers' Musketeer Mysterunes lists. For example, Lithium has a video that's pretty popular, so I looked at his list to start, but it was just too close to pure muskets. Like, he kind of had a deck built around musketeers and just a smaller Mysterune engine. But I feel like that just inhibits your musketeer strategy. Like, skipping your battle phase is not worth the occasional advantage. Like, you want to activate all of your Mysterune stuff at once so that you only miss 1 battle phase. But if you're gonna do that, you might as well just go full Mysterune and full deck out strategy. So that's kind of why I took the approach of going for the full deck out, going for the stall, going for like draws with X-Drav and all that kind of stuff. So this is my take on it. There's probably, there's multiple correct takes or incorrect takes or whatever, so you guys play what you want. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you're playing, how you're playing the deck, what I can do to improve my magical Mysterune theory, and I'd be super happy to check it out, because Mysterune feels like it's right in my wheelhouse. I play Musketeers and I play Sky Striker, and it's just an engine that goes with both pretty greatly. I think it might even be a little bit better in Sky Striker than Musketeers, but yeah, let me know what you guys think. Leave comments, like and subscribe if you're enjoying Musketeer Musket Theory series. That's awesome. Thank you guys for watching these videos, making them the most popular on my channel, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Have a good one. This is Phantoms Yu-Gi-Oh, and I'm out of here.